Picture this: you're soaring high above the landscape, commanding a drone with precision and finesse. The world unfolds beneath you, and on your screen, every detail is laid out before your eyes.
It's a breathtaking experience, but what if I told you that what you see on that screen might not be as accurate as it seems? Not to worry, you might think, because the drone is right there, within visual line of sight. Oops. When it comes to flying safely, the battle between visual line of sight and the transmitted image you see on the screen is more than just a technical debate. It is a critical factor that can impact safety and situational awareness.
Today, we dive into the fascinating world of drone flight, exploring the nuances of our visual perception from a distance and the potential distortions that can pose unseen threats.
Join me as we unravel the mysteries of altitude, distance, and ground hazards.
And discover why what you see may not always be what you get when navigating the skies with your drone.
Hello and welcome to The One. My name is George Schlacek, and I'm a passionate drone pilot. As much as I hate to admit it, I sometimes screw up. I'd like you to pay close attention to the following clip. Looks pretty cool, eh? I know you FPV pilot probably just shrug and wonder what the big deal is. Well, this wasn't an FPV drone. This was recorded with my DJI Air 2S, and no, I hadn't planned flying right through those wires. What happened was that I was navigating my drone toward the bridge, looking straight at it and not at the screen. The drone appeared to be well above the altitude needed to clear the bridge completely. So once it got closer, without changing altitude or letting up on the throttle, I turned to look at the screen. Suddenly those wires appeared, and before I could react, the drone went right through them, while the sensors only picked them up for a split second to sound the alarm. I was relieved when nothing happened. This could have cost me my drone right there.
Huh, stupid man.
Here in Canada, a lot of emphasis is on keeping your drone within visual line of sight. If your drone is registered, you're legally limited to that. But is piloting your aircraft going by what you perceive from your location on the ground even safe?
No.
After nearly missing those wires, I've reviewed the risks associated with operating a drone from a distance using only visual line of sight, or VLOS, and I'll share them with you. Here are 6 main hazards that could creep up on you really fast.
Number 1. Limited depth perception.
Judging the distance and altitude of the drone accurately can be very difficult without depth perception cues. So there's the distortion, the perspective distortion, whatever you want to call it, when you're down below and you're looking up. The closer you get, all of a sudden it seems like the drone is actually descending, but it's not. It's just because it was never that high up in the first place. You just can't tell without the reference point. My drone is up there. Want to see it? And you tell me, can you judge how far away that drone actually is and what the altitude is? Have a look. There it is. Hey! Here in Canada, it is often used as part of the flight review for the advanced license. However, no matter how accurate you think your perception is, you could easily misjudge the drone's altitude and distance when flying near obstacles.
Number 2. Reduced peripheral vision.
Drones are notoriously hard to spot when flying at a distance, especially in open spaces. By focusing on the drone, you could easily miss other aerial hazards, such as birds or low-flying aircraft, which could lead to close calls or even collisions.
Number 3. Environmental conditions.
Changing weather conditions such as fog, rain, or low light can further hinder visibility. While you're not supposed to fly your drone into a cloud or fog, sometimes conditions change fast. Reduced visibility due to weather can make it challenging to maintain a clear line of sight, and that's increasing the risk of accidents.
Can you see me now? Home point is now updated. Haha. Number 4. Loss of orientation. Duh.
Distinguishing the orientation of the drone in terms of front, back, and sides can be challenging at a distance. Even when you think the drone is coming back toward you, it might actually move in a different direction. This can lead to momentary disorientation, causing control issues and potentially collisions with obstacles.
Number 5. Inability to identify ground hazards. Shit.
Spotting small obstacles or hazards on the ground like power lines or uneven terrain becomes extremely challenging. The drone might collide with or be damaged by obstacles that are not easily visible from a distance. That's why it's important to identify ground hazards before you take off. And of course, look at your screen.
Number 6. Complacency and distractions.
Yeah.
Give me a break.
You might become complacent or distracted, especially if the drone seems to be flying smoothly at a distance, which can lead to delayed responses to potential dangers or failure to recognize warning signs. Situational awareness is crucial in all aviation. While it's important to know where your drone is at all times, your screen gives you the best indication of what's directly in front of the drone.
So nice. Drone happy.
Having said all that, in Canada, it is illegal to operate beyond visual line of sight the way it stands right now. However, keeping visual line of sight does not mean that you have to stare at your drone while flying it, because as we've seen, this could actually create unnecessary hazards. You simply need to be aware of the ground hazards and weather conditions surrounding your location and what the limitations are as to how far away you can fly and still be able to detect your drone. It is crucial for drone operators to be aware of those risks and to adopt safe flying practices, including maintaining a clear and unobstructed line of sight, by the way, whenever possible. Additionally, using technology such as the information on your screen, as well as turning on obstacle avoidance, and even using additional visual aids like binoculars, for example, can enhance safety during drone navigations. Here's a question. Have you ever had the app crash while flying your drone? Suddenly your screen is blank or it's the startup page on your phone. How would you deal with it? It's happened to me, and even knowing the rough location of the drone didn't enable me to detect it instantly by eye and fly it back toward me right away. Focusing on the drone now I can see it. It's only 55 meters away from me. I mean, this drone is capable of going a kilometer, 2 kilometers away. I dealt with it by letting the drone hover in place without trying to locate it exactly and restarting the app. Once I had my screen back, it was an easy task. The incident was a reminder, though, how important it is to respect the limitations. Technology is amazing and in most cases safer than our own flawed perception. But nothing is perfect, and you could find yourself in a situation where VLOS is all you have left.
Okay.
In that case, locate the drone and bring it back to you at a safe altitude, clearing all potential obstacles.
Did you check your return to home altitude lately?
Bring it down only once it is in close proximity where you can be sure it has a clear path. When flying, try to use all the cues available. Look mainly at the screen while moving ahead, and both the screen and the sky when moving sideways or backwards. I hope you found this video useful. If so, please hit that like button and consider subscribing. I have a good selection of other videos you might find useful when trying to get more out of your drone. Check out the video that's on the screen right about now.